So here I am out at Hoosier National Forest, Charles C. Deam Wilderness, about to finally do my first overnight solo trip. I think I'm going to do about 10 miles today and another 7 or 8 back tomorrow morning. I'm going to hike out through the forest and then down to the lake and try to find a nice camping spot by the lake. Alright, it's 11:30 a.m. and it's time to hit the trail. Here we go, Cope Hollow Trail, Charles C. Deam Wilderness in the Hoosier National Forest. The first section of the trail was pretty rough near the horse camp, lots of mud puddles and tall grass, but now we're in the woods. This is what I'm talking about. This is about the fourth creek I've crossed in 40 minutes, so I think I would have been fine if I hadn't brought 5 liters of water, but you know, I like to play it safe. So I had heard that there was a pond back here somewhere. This really wasn't what I was expecting. This is a pretty good sized, decently clean looking pond for being out in the woods like this. See some cattails over there. Looks like there's probably maybe even some fish in here. This is pretty sweet. This is a gorgeous little spot here next to the pond. This would be a great place to camp if I didn't have quite a few more miles to go. Oh, and how about that? It's a designated camp spot. Good choice. So this is actually the trail. It gets really overgrown when the canopy opens up. Maybe this is just a bad time of year, but getting a little tired of these patches. Well, I'm very disappointed. There's a little ringneck snake being attacked by a yellow jacket. I thought I was recording and I wasn't. The snake's now under the rock, but I have no proof. So I'm just starting out on the Peninsula Trail now. I've got about 2.5 miles to the end of the peninsula. I think I'll walk out there, check out the campsites at the tip, and if I don't like them, make my way back in a little bit. There's a few designated sites on each side of the trail as we go, so I'm confident I'll find an excellent site. Not seeing too many people out here. So I'm walking out on the Peninsula Trail now. Came across a black snake sitting right in the middle of the trail. Got pretty close to him before I saw him. About a couple miles back, me and a couple other guys saw what looked to be a copperhead, couldn't really tell, a few feet off the trail. So that makes 3 snakes so far. Guess I'll have to check the campsite extra thoroughly. So I'm about 3/4 of a mile from the end of the peninsula. I just came across this section where a large swath of trees have been downed, and you can see where they were chopped up to allow trail access again. I don't know what. I guess if I had to guess, I would say maybe a tornado came through right here and took them out. I'm gonna have to see if I can do a little research when I get back home and see if that's what it was. But hopefully at the tip of the peninsula there'll be trees again, because it's pretty clear right through here. I was hoping for a little more shade. So, plus, there's got to be some snakes with all these down trees. Alright, so here we are coming up on the terminus of the Peninsula Trail. Exactly 12 miles in 4.5 hours. So, pretty happy with the pace. Looks like there's lots of people up here, so time to check out the view for a minute and try to find a camping spot. I found my spot for the night, so I think it's time to start setting up camp. Alright, so camp is all set up. I've got my sleeping bag and underquilt out, although I don't know that I'll need them tonight. Better to have them out already just in case. Got a nice view of the lake right here. Hopefully I'll catch a nice sunset here in about 3.5 hours.
course I have a campfire.
Alright, so it's about 10 o'clock Sunday morning and I'm hiking back out. Right now I'm going back through this area of the peninsula where all the trees are down. I had some service at my camp, so I did some research. There was a storm. They didn't really say for sure if it was a tornado, but definitely looks like it could have been a tornado. And this whole area was actually closed off back in June, I think it was June, while they were clearing the trails. It's been a beautiful morning of hiking through the woods. I'm almost back to the car. I've got about 2 miles left. Should be back on the road within the hour. Not sure I want to leave the woods though. It's pretty nice out here today. So these are interesting. I've never seen a bearing tree before. I don't know if it has to do with property surveying or what, but here's another one. It's 2 side by side. So I'm pretty much at the end of the trail. About maybe 1/10 or 1/4 of a mile from horse camp and where my car is. Really glad I came out here. Some really nice, easy trails. A lot more trails than I hiked. I did maybe 1/3 of them this weekend. Maybe 1/3, probably less than that. I'd have to look at the map again. But either way, definitely coming back. There are some pretty nice backcountry camping spots that can be gotten to fairly quickly, just about a 5-mile hike from the parking area. So could even come out here on a Friday after work and have time to get out and set up camp before dark. Especially right there on the lake. It could be a really nice place to camp in the winter if the wind wasn't too bad off the lake. It didn't seem too bad last night, but I'm not sure if that's usual. But anyways, almost there. Coming up on horse camp now. My car is on the far end of this long, narrow field, so it'll take me a couple minutes to finally get there. But here we are. Looks like it's pretty much cleared out. A lot of these spots were taken up by either tents or horse trailers when I got here yesterday. Final steps. I don't know why that horse trailer had to pick inches for my car to park out of this whole field. Just one final look at horse camp before I hit the road. It's only an hour drive back home.